Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of Coffee with Renan. It's been forever ago since I did one of those videos, but here we are. Horrible background, you know, very sudden, like, oh shoot, I haven't done Coffee with Renan in so long. But the title of the video says it all. This is the question that we're gonna address today. Am I training too much? Possibly yes. If you're a beginner, possibly no. But you know, I experienced this myself, where you're just like so obsessed in a goal, you just keep pushing forward, and your recovery is not on point, your nutrition's not on point, and you just like end up frying your nervous system, and you just like get sick, you overtrain. And let's analyze a few things that you're gonna have to keep in mind if you're training too much, right? Training too much comes with the idea that you are possibly under recovering, which is possibly the number one thing. Like, you have two things in balance, right? Enough stimulus for, you know, to attaining your goal, you gotta have that, but there's also a limit of like how much you can do, and all that depends on multiple factors such as your sleep, your amount of food you eat, like number of calories, and that's pretty much the two main ingredients other than like your actual training. So let's say I'm working out hard 3 times a week, and I am only sleeping 3 hours a night, which I know a couple of people that end up doing that throughout the week, 3 hours a night, and they try to catch up on the weekends. Like, I'm glad they catch up on their sleep at least, right? But some people only sleep 3 hours a night. That equals to 6 hours in 2 days, right? And if you're working out 3 times a week, let's say Monday, and you go hard, like super hard, you're pumped because you slept well on the weekend. So you're super hard training on Monday, then you only get 3 hours of sleep, you feel like shit on Tuesday, and like throughout the whole day, you're just sleep deprived, tired, because for some reason I experience that when I do exercise, I need a bit more sleep for me to feel the same way the next day as opposed to when I don't train. Probably something to do with like the recovery aspect of things, but I tend to need like 1 extra hour to feel like great the next day than normal. So for example, Tuesday you have only 3 hours of sleep, you gotta go to work, and then you go home and probably like spend time on your computer or go out with somebody. Then you come home, you sleep another 3 hours, then it's Wednesday now. This is assuming you're doing a three times full body workout, right? Just for example's sake. And now it's Wednesday, you gotta train again, and you only had 6 hours of recovery in between your first hard workout. And all of a sudden you're like, I need to get this heavier set than Monday. It can be done if it's like your first week working out hard, and same thing happens Thursday, then it goes to Friday, another hard session, right? And you're like, wow, I gotta go hit another higher number of reps, higher number of weight. It depends on what you're doing, and you're like, I can do this, I'm very tired, but I feel like I can do this, and you end up doing it, and now you're recovered, like you feel like shit probably, and now you're on the weekend, you probably go out, you do get sleep in possibly. Now you're a little bit more recovered from Monday, but still not quite. Now Monday comes around, you do the same thing. By Wednesday, I can almost guarantee you, and this is like very optimistic approach to it, because you probably fry yourself prior to that if you're only sleeping 3 hours a night. But this is I'm talking about my own personal experience here almost, because something similar happened, not with the full body system, but I was doing an upper lower, but I was sleeping very little. And now by that Wednesday, you are gonna feel like garbage. Your performance is possibly gonna decrease. Your mental state is gonna decrease. Why? Because you were supposed to hit a certain number, but you didn't because you're under recovered, and you're like pushing as hard as you can because you're like, you gotta go harder, go home, and you know the mindset that's instilled in us, right? And then Thursday goes by, same thing. Friday comes around. You're like, all right, I failed Wednesday. Now I gotta hit it Friday. Like, I gotta get that PR again. And you're going, your willpower probably caffeinated to the max. And you end up not hitting that same weight that you already hit the previous Monday. And you're like, probably gonna get, it's gonna affect your ego. It's gonna affect your self-esteem. Because you're like, holy shit, I'm not doing something that I was just doing probably like the beginning of the week or last week. And that's when you're like, go big or go home shouldn't be a thing, because you're not recovering from it. If you're sleeping that little, I would only advise you to work out twice that week, like heavily. Sure, you can work out, like, you know, maybe go for a run every other day, like, you know, in between like heavy days. But that's another topic. I'm talking about here, like, under recovering and all that. And yeah, just fix your sleep. If you can't fix your sleep, reduce your training frequency. Adjust your training program to fit your sleep schedule. Maybe you get more sleep on the weekends. Maybe schedule a session for like the weekends when you're more well rested. And eat enough calories. If you're always on a cut, sadly you're not gonna put on more muscle like optimally. Yes, you're gonna probably improve to a certain extent, but if you're always on a calorie deficit, your muscle growth is not gonna be there. Your strength gains are not gonna be there that much. And yeah, just get your recovery on point. And yeah, hold on, let me take a sip. Got some Salvadoran coffee, but this time I put milk and sugar because I had like a craving for like sweets, so I just put, like, you know, some lactose and some glucose in there. But yeah, always be sure to improve your recovery so that you can improve your results. Because if you're not recovering, then like you're almost doing more harm sometimes for your body, because you're stressing your body more. Like, exercising is stressing your body to a certain degree. And once you feel, like, imagine like a water cup or like this coffee cup, right? You keep pouring coffee on it, and the recovery basically like empties it. Right? Like, think of me as being the recovery. And right there, imagine I just chugged the whole cup down. Like, if I had like a great week of sleep, I would, you know, constantly be taking down from the coffee. But if you keep working out super hard and you have a stressful job, this pot of coffee that's filling the cup is just gonna make it overflow, and we do not want that cup to overflow. Why? Because one, you're gonna get sick, possibly. Your mental state is gonna be shit, and you're just not gonna improve. You're not gonna attain your goals. You're gonna be like, oh my goodness, I tried so hard for these results and nothing came out of it. You're gonna be super disappointed. You're possibly gonna quit, and you know, you're not gonna actually attain the goal that you set out to get. So yeah, this is my message to you. To sum it all up, improve your recovery, sleep more, you know, sleep more, eat enough calories, train hard, but do not train too often. Like, manage your sleep and your training so that you can keep seeing improvements in your performance, seeing improvements in your muscle growth. Because if not, probably gonna start noticing decreases, and that's a downward spiral from it. This has been Renan. This has been Coffee with Renan, episode 2. I'm sorry it's been so long since this happened. I'm sorry for my scatterbrain. It's just I'd rather have like a natural, like, as the words are coming for this type of episode. For other videos that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna plan them better, but Coffee with Renan is just a chill time that I tell you stuff in my head that possibly can improve your life while I sip on my coffee when I come home from work.